Your dog is about to lie down, but before it does, it starts circling. It can hold heat, moisture, digging at the exact same spot it's about to sleep on. Sometimes gently, sometimes with surprising intensity, and then just as suddenly as it started, it stops, lies down, falls asleep as if nothing happened. Most people see this and assume it's just a habit, strange little routine dogs never grew out of. That small repetitive ritual before sleep is doing something much more specific than it looks. And it didn't start in your living room. It started long before beds existed, long before dogs slept on cushions, blankets, or your bed. They slept outside in the wild, on uneven ground with sharp stones, in grass, in dirt, in environments that weren't controlled or predictable. And before lying down, they couldn't just settle anywhere. They had to prepare the space. Circling flattened the tall vegetation. Scratching adjusted the surface for rest. Digging could expose cooler soil underneath. What looks random today was once necessary. Not for comfort, for survival. Through temperature, safety, and control. In the wild, the ground isn't neutral. It can hold heat, moisture, hidden insects, sharp debris. Small adjustments made a difference. Scratching the surface could release trapped heat. Digging could uncover a cooler layer of soil. Circling helped the body map the space before committing to it. This wasn't overthinking, it was control. A way to turn an uncertain environment into something usable. And that pattern didn't disappear. 3. The behavior stayed. The environment changed. Your dog no longer needs to prepare the ground. The surface is already soft, already safe, already temperature controlled. But the behavior is still there. Because evolution doesn't remove something just because it's no longer required, especially if it works. So now that same sequence plays out on a couch, on a bed, on a blanket. Not because your dog needs to fix the space, but because its brain still runs the same program before rest. 40. There's another layer most people miss. Digging and circling don't just change the surface, they also leave something behind. Dogs have scent glands in their paws. Every time they scratch or press into a surface, they deposit scent. Not strong enough for you to notice, but enough for them. Which means that spot, after the circling, after the scratching, doesn't just feel comfortable. It smells like them. And that changes the experience of the space entirely. Bite. This is also about psychological safety. Here's where it becomes less physical and more internal. Before sleep, animals don't just prepare their body, they prepare their state. That repetitive motion, the circling, the scratching, has a rhythm to it. And rhythmic behaviors are one of the simplest ways the nervous system transitions from alertness to rest. It's predictable, controlled, familiar, and it creates a clear shift from active to settled. So what you're seeing isn't just physical preparation, it's regulation. Sixth, why some dogs do it more than others. Not every dog does this the same way. Some circle once, some do it 5 times, some dig intensely before settling. That variation isn't random. Dogs that are more alert, more sensitive to their environment, or slower to relax, then repeat the behavior more. Because something is wrong. Because their system takes a little longer to downshift. And this is part of how they get there. 7. The moment it actually means something. Most of the time this behavior is completely normal. But there's a point where it can shift. If the circling becomes excessive, if the digging becomes frantic, if the dog struggles to settle even after repeating it, then the behavior may no longer be just a transition. It may be a sign that something isn't resolving. Discomfort, anxiety, environmental stress. Again, same behavior, different state. And the difference isn't in what the dog does, it's in how easily it can stop. Here's the thing about that moment before your dog lies down. It looks small, easy to ignore. Something you've probably seen hundreds of times without thinking about it. But inside that moment, your dog is doing something very old. Adjusting the environment, marking the space, regulating its body. Preparing to let go of awareness, all in a few quiet seconds. And if that changes how you see that small ritual before sleep, then you're not just watching your dog settle. You're watching an instinct that survived thousands of years, playing out on your living room floor. If you want to understand your dog like this, subscribe. Because there's a lot more happening in your dog than it seems. Subscribe for more dog stories.